Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to my channel. This is going to be my kind of first YouTube video, so help work with me a little bit while I learn the ropes of YouTube. Today I want to talk about how to help emotion kind of move through the body, or how someone can facilitate helping emotion move through the body. There's such a range of emotion, and the ways that we feel emotion is really different from person to person. And so one of the things that I want to talk about first is really just societally, we're taught that we can't express the emotions that we want to. I would say, especially as men, we're taught that as men we can't, we're not allowed to cry, or we're not allowed to be, super emotional. And so oftentimes, even as children, we're taught not to emote. And so what happens is that gets like kind of lodged into the body. We're like, I can't get this out. And that has various ways that plays out in our bodies and in our day-to-day actions, and in the way that we interact with other people. And so it's really first about acknowledging the emotion in yourself. Find the acknowledgement in yourself, and or help your clients or the people that you're working with to acknowledge the emotion in themselves. So if someone is working with grief, for example, and they don't necessarily know how to grieve, or they feel like grief is a hard process for them, help them get into their bodies, or help yourself get into your body by like allowing yourself, giving yourself the time, giving yourself the space to feel sad. And maybe that's not the first or only emotion that comes up. Maybe the first thing that comes up is anger. And that's okay. Like, we have to give ourselves the space to feel whatever it is we feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling whatever we feel. But anger, people are so afraid of anger in our culture. We're so afraid of it. It's like, oh, that guy's angry, or that girl's angry. She's just, pissed off. And I say good. If you feel anger, then that's a good thing. What happens with anger, if it kind of stays lodged in there, or it's not processed, is it starts turning into things like resentment and rage. And those things, that's where it starts to get dangerous, not only for yourself and your own body, but also for the people around you. And so, like, really process whatever's coming up for you. So once that thing is recognized, once you're able to acknowledge whatever that emotion is, then it's about giving it the attention that it wants. So finding the attention is first you name it. So this is the first step that we just talked about. It's like really finding that thing. So you name the thing that it is, and then you give it attention. So again, since we're talking about anger, like, how do you give anger attention? Bring it up. Talk about it. What does anger look like for you? Or what does it look like for the people that you're working with? And we're going to stop there today, because I want to speak a lot more on that a little bit later. But for now, really tune in with how to give acknowledgement to emotion for the people around you and for yourself, and find different ways, find different exercises that you can use to acknowledge the emotion. I'll end with a couple exercises that I can give you, and the idea here is that you kind of take these exercises and make them your own, so that they're relatable to you and the way that you work as an individual. So again, I'm gonna go with anger. So if I notice that someone's angry, or they're working with a lot of anger, one thing that I really like to do is have them make fists, and I have them clench their teeth, clench their neck, and maybe I work on a table, so maybe I'll even have them like hit the table, and so what that does is it kind of like stirs everything up. And the most important thing here is watch the body. Watch what the body is doing while they're having that emotive experience. Um, you can find that there's certain areas in the body that are not going to want to move. It might even be the voice. Sometimes, they want to emote through the voice, and you just hear this, like, you'll say something like, let it out through your voice, and they'll go like, that's not letting it out. Let it out through the voice. Find where the block is, and really let them have it. Now, I'm going to end with saying that some trauma, some stored emotion is really complex, and it's actually called complex trauma, which some of you might already know. And it's not always safe to let someone totally let go. And so really check in with someone and check in on what feels safe for them and how far they are ready and willing to go. And of course, these are all kind of like philosophical ideas, and it's not the smartest idea to do this without professional training. So on that note, I hope that there's been some informative information. If anyone has any questions or something that I can kind of help you or help your clients work through, please feel free to hit me up. Comment on the YouTube comments. I think that's what people say, right? Comment below, like my YouTube. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to sharing some more with you in the future. Bye for now.